What's up, guys? Arctic here, and I'm joined by co-host Colin Skyless. What's up?
The epic music once again.
Yeah.
I swear, it just gets more intense every week. God, immediate flip. Let me flip my camera.
Oh man.
Fuck. There we go. No more flipping.
You just need to prep it like that every time. Alright, so
I should, but it's hard because I have to it's my phone, of course. So on the other side is the volume control, and that needs to be on the bottom. So it's a harder balancing act on top of my cracker box and my two Xboxes.
So I mean, for those of you guys out there, this week has to be intense because we're talking about Halo this week. First off, we have the weekend recap. We have Halo 4. We have some E3 discussion. So I think there's some other bits of gaming news in there. We got Zynga. And let me see, what else do I have in this chat that I copied over? Some E3, that's E3. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and start with the weekend recap.
Yeah.
What's up?
Nothing. You're good.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
Trying to get my Windows set up.
The weekend recap we had for esports stuff. I just watched WCS America. I watched a little bit of Saturday, some consolation stuff, and I also watched all of the finals. It was Hero versus Revival, and Revival came out strong. I've seen Hero play quite a bit. I haven't seen too many of Revival's matches. I mean, maybe like 2 or so. But Revival came out, and the casters were kind of building it up. And he came out and started his slapdown on him. It was up 2-0, and then Hero won 4 straight. And so what they were talking about, and I thought was interesting, was, we always talk about that momentum swing where, in games that we play, like Gears, for example, we start off cold, and then the more you play, you kind of warm up, and then that constant battle with momentum. And so they were saying that Hero is a really emotional player, and if he gets down, it's hard for him to come back, but he played really strong. So I mean, it was an interesting match to watch them play from the start to the end, to see 6 games. Other than that, I don't really think there was anything else. I saw Well Played, I think is the name of the League of Legends thing, was on this weekend.
I don't know. There's something for League almost every week.
Yeah, so I think that was on. It was something League of Legends, and I can't. It has to be like a championship, like the final championship or a season championship where they're playing for a bunch of money for me to watch Halo, because everything else just seems kind of
For League or
for League, like for me just watching because it's week to week, and it's like, man, I don't want to watch all of these, and it's really hard for me to gravitate towards a team right now because they don't have the same teams consistently playing every single week. So it's like, like I think this past week they had semi-pro teams or something like that. I don't remember.
They're still on break for all the LCS teams, and there's a bunch of roster changes kind of going on in the background. If you happen to follow, I've been keeping track of their subreddit for League of Legends. Keep on top of all that stuff. But lots of roster changes. For the most part, everyone's just kind of waiting to get stuff kicked back up for the second half of the season.
Did you watch anything this weekend?
A little bit of Dota. I was working on building a map for Saturday, and then at night I'm playing Dota, so
okay.
Didn't really catch much. There wasn't a lot of tournaments this past weekend anyways.
Yeah, there wasn't. Like I said, I just saw those two. Someone, who's that asked that? Mudkip Perfect? Mudkip Perfect?
Mudkip Effect?
Mudkip Effect?
It's Mudkip
Okay,
Effect.
I see it now. I'm looking from really far away. But the AGO is coming up this upcoming weekend, and we were gonna have Quinn on, and I got an email from them saying literally last night at about almost this morning at 12 a.m. It was like 11 something my time, Central Standard Time, and I got a message saying that Quinn wouldn't be on the show. They want to reschedule, but we got a lot. We got E3 to cover. I think we're gonna have Epic Games on. I'm trying to get Jim Brown on around the time that they release their update. I believe they said it was going to be sometime this month. So I'm going to try to get him on. And for the most part, we're going to be talking about a lot of games, a lot of next-gen stuff after post-E3. So, I mean, I don't feel like...
An entire show the next 2 weeks
with E3 stuff. So I just don't feel like it'll be a good time again to talk about it. Hopefully, we can get them on maybe in July. If you guys are still interested in that, I took a lot of questions down, so maybe what I can do is shoot them some questions, and maybe he can just answer them like that. I don't know.
And I can answer them as if I was Quinn.
Yeah, you could do that.
I can just throw in an accent.
And, we need to get Al Pacino on, because that's who he sounds like. He has an Al Pacino voice. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this weekend. Like I said, I do want to talk about AGL 5 or 7.
7.
And we'll be talking about that next week a little bit. But in terms of games I've been playing this week, let's go ahead and round that. You said you were playing Dota 2. I've played Halo 4, which you played some last night, so you need to say that you played Halo 4.
Yeah, I played Halo 4 for 4 hours last night.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been straight Dota.
So you played some Halo 4. I played what else did I play? I played Street Fighter 4. I played Injustice. I played Warframe. I played quite a bit of Warframe and Loadout. And I want to show you guys this because this is the new fight stick that I have. It's the Razer Aatrox.
Aatrox?
Aatrox.
Aatrox?
Yeah, Aatrox. Or
Atrix.
Atrix or Aatrox. I think it's Atrix. Atrix is how you pronounce it. Atrix.
It's pretty awful branding.
Yeah, so that is the fight stick I was playing with this past weekend, getting in my Street Fighter and Injustice stuff, and I modded for the first time ever. I modded one of these arcade sticks. So I got my Mad Catz like 3 weeks ago, 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And I didn't mess with that one at all. But this one is so easy to adjust. Hold on. Let me show you guys this real quick. So there's a button right here. It's a compartment button. Am I on camera?
So you're saying you're a modder.
And then you open it, and then you can customize the inside. It's sick. It's sick, guys. So it made it really easy. It has that brand new smell too.
Did you just like swap some buttons around?
I swapped some buttons around. I'm thinking about switching out the case or the faceplate, and then changing, possibly figuring out how to put some lights in it. I think that would be pretty cool. So that'll be my next project over the summer, is figuring out what all I need for that.
That seems like a hiding place for stuff.
Yeah, you can use it for storage. It has a lot of space. Hide some candy in there.
some cash, some candy.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for the weekend recap. Let's shoot right into this Halo 4 stuff, and then we'll go into Halo 4 Turbo update. Switch this around.
So technically, that is Halo 4 stuff.
Halo 4 Turbo.
I don't know if this is the official name for the update, but it's what they've started calling it. So
yeah, I don't know.
I guess it's officially Halo 4 Turbo.
Turbo Halo
edition.
4 Turbo. I don't know. So what'd you think after playing for 3 hours?
It was fun. It's a lot of changes, which I was kind of championing for the game that when it came out. Obviously, the increased move speed is nice, but unfortunately, it's kind of artificial in the sense that it's just cranking up the percentage, so it's kind of like the slidey effect.
It feels, skatey, yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite as responsive as you might expect it to be. The 4-shot BR feels crisp. I think that's probably the best change overall. Light rifle was a bit more reliable. It's fucking beast in big team.
Oh god, yes, we were melting faces.
The assault rifle and the suppressor feel good. They almost feel like, at times it feels overpowered when you catch someone and you just like melt them and every bullet hits.
Yeah.
And then at times it's like, I feel like I probably should have killed that guy, but I didn't, you know? I think I finished the one game, I was using the assault rifle, I was like 14, 14, and 12. Like, just assists all over the place because I was taking down shields but couldn't finish anyone.
Right.
But it's like, it's really reliable in that sense that you almost always get their shields down at least. You know, it's never like you just get blown out like you might with a good BR player, a good DMR player. I don't know. It's a bit frustrating. I had trouble before the update telling the assault rifle and the saw apart sometimes.
Yes.
Now the saw just kills you in like a half second.
Well,
so that's one of my small complaints is that, I don't know. It's always been hard to differentiate, and now they both kill you pretty quick.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to act like I play with the assault rifle a whole bunch. To be honest, I haven't played with too many of the rifles at all. I mean, you'd be the expert here with the feedback on all of that stuff, but I, for the most part, have only I've called in the saw quite a bit, and I feel like it kills people pretty quick, and it always has. But I guess there are times when I've been engaged with players and they have an assault rifle and I can't really tell the difference because they almost sound the same a little bit, and the firing animation for it kind of can remind you of that as well. So I can see that.
Yeah, I mean it's really reliable kills. So if you have like a choice between a sniper and a saw, it's like one of those is reliably going to get you 6 or 7 kills.
Right.
And one you have to hit skill headshots in order to get that. You know. So
yeah.
That's how I feel on that. Double damage feels really sick now because the BR is a 2-hit kill.
The BR is a 2-hit kill, yeah.
Yeah.
So ridiculous. I got mad at myself. I don't know if you were in the game yet because I was playing with Tents. I probably put 15 hours into Halo since last week. So that's over the weekend plus what we played last night. And I immediately noticed that that attack bonus double damage with the BR, because I mean I had a call in for one. I picked it on Simplex. I called it and dropped everyone. And then I had another game, I think it was on Abandoned, where I accidentally, like, I saw the saw, and for whatever reason I typically call in the weapon a lot instead of the abilities. So I saw it like out the corner of my eye, and I was already hitting down, and it was like, no, why did I do that?
But you heard me rage when I was about to get double damage, and I hit hit the button and then it did down on the D-pad anyways because the
Yeah.
keyboard sucks.
Yeah. You were really upset. He's not playing with an Onzo or a Sabretooth. He's using the standard 360 controller.
Yeah. Shit. Almost knocked everything off the table. Yeah, I'm using that. The Gears one, actually. Which has the improved D-pad.
And it's still terrible, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's still awful.
So, overall, I think the update's really good. Makes the gameplay a lot faster. They changed some of the placement of stuff on the maps, and actually changed kind of the rotation on some of the maps too, I think. In Slayer, at least a few of those maps I had never played before. That might have been last week's update, though.
Opus?
Yeah, like Opus. The one complaint I have is we were playing Infinity Slayer playlist, and I think some of those maps are made for throwdown where there's no jetpack. So, like, you're using a jetpack, and you fly up, like, 10 feet, and it just slams you to the ground.
Yeah.
Or you die.
Or you die. Yeah, they have that kill box.
Yeah, and it was unexpected. A few times I died with power weapons just because I jetpacked up in the air and immediately got hit. So, other than that, I think the update's good.
Yeah.
It's a good direction. I hope that it's indicative of where they're going to go with the next Halo, because really all these things are about sustaining the player base, I think, until Halo 5, and then hopefully they've learned from the multiplayer side of things where to go with that.
So, I think I generally agree with you across the board on my experience. We played with the Carbine too, which I don't know if you mentioned that. The Carbine felt really good. Carbine felt really good. Battle Rifle for me, like Colin, I pretty much feel the same as Colin on the BR. My one concern is that because the BR feels a lot better, and I don't want to say it's now become the all-around weapon, because I still think if you are good with the DMR, you can probably outclass the BR, maybe. But I didn't even pick the DMR when we were playing, not one time. But my concern is that a lot of the high-level players are it's going to be top-down what's going to happen. So they're going to be dominating all these people in rooms with the BR, and you're going to see a massive switch to the BR, and then people are going to be upset about the strength of the BR. I think that's going to happen gradually over the next 2 months. So then people are going to be like, oh, the BR is OP, buff such and such. Which, I don't know what their tuning plans are for this game, but I don't think they'll do another.
With doing any kind of updates.
Right.
You'll have people who are just going to... I mean, it's the same with, like, games like League of Legends, where they update every single week, and it's just an endless stream of nerf please, buff please, yada, 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 yada.
Right. Right. So...
the fact of the matter is that historically, from Halo 2 all the way over till Halo 4, everyone's really used one weapon. Halo 2, obviously, I think it was like 80% of kills were with the BR. 70%, something really high. Halo 3 was the same. Halo Reach, obviously, was the DMR, so it just kind of took over the role. I think in this game, there's probably a bit more parity, just because there's more starting weapons. But obviously, more people were using the DMR before, and I think that now it might just shift to the BR, and everyone will be okay with it. That's my prediction.
I'm hoping that people are okay with it, but I think what happened with Reach is that they brought in this subclass of players. I don't mean that in a way that's like degrading them, just a different group of people that were like, oh man, these weapons, this set of weapons feels good. I like the DMR. And then they were kind of used to these things with Halo 4, so they were more acceptable to this change and more receptive to it. And so now they're gonna be the ones that are like, why the fuck did you guys do this? I don't want to play. This game is stupid. And I even saw some of this on the forums. I went over there last night. I talked about this in the commentary. I wrote down some quotes for this, and I talked about it in my comm too. 343 has completely taken away the skill component in Halo with this update. That's a quote. That is a quote from someone on the forums.
It's a little bit.
Does it not remind you of like Gear stuff? Like it's the same. Every single community is the same. Like for anyone that does not go outside of your community, trust me, in every single shooting game, at least that I've seen, or every single competitive game for that matter, it is the same. Let me see. There was another one. Oh, okay, the strafe speed. This guy said, why did you guys up the strafe speed? It doesn't add to the skill. And I can't read what I wrote there, but it said it doesn't add to the skill, and something along the lines of he didn't feel it was necessary, and it was a big-time mistake.
makes it easier to dodge shots.
Right. So I was like, doesn't mobility technically make it harder for you to hit people? Therefore, you have to aim more, so that would take more skill?
No, it doesn't make it harder for you to hit people. It makes it easier for them to dodge. There's a difference. You see, you've made the game easier.
Waited to the dawn. I am dead serious. I am dead serious. That is the thread on the forums. Strafe speed. They're upset about the strafe speed. I'm not joking. So you go over to Halo Waypoint, there's a bunch of threads of people talking about stuff like this, and you know, here's a good example, and I might have to actually pull this up. I can't do it right now. I should have done it on my iPad, but I had someone comment on a video saying that it was like one cough GB, and he might watch this, but he said that he felt like balance was easy. And he said devs should just get it at this point. And I think that mindset is indicative of what a lot of people have in the gamers, specifically competitive gamers. Like, how do you guys not see this is right? This is so easy to do. You guys need to fix it. I could design this in a day and it would be fantastic. Like, people have that mentality. And then you get into the industry or you get into the scene and you get to make these changes and you see that what you think was right is not even remotely close to what people want to play. Like, there's just so many different personalities and what people like in general for gaming. Like, balance is never something that's going to be perfect. So I'm gonna actually pull up the quote.
Even defining like what perfect balance means is difficult and almost impossible. Like, theoretically, if everyone starts with the same weapon, then it's balanced. You know what I mean? Like,
right. But then people will be like,
balance, and that's that. And then if every weapon has the same damage values, it's balanced. Everything has the same kill times at all. It's balanced. Beyond that, you're talking about maps, and you bring in all these different factors. Like,
right.
The moment you start tweaking anything, it's inherently going to be imbalanced in some way or other at different times. That term in itself, I think, is a toxic thing to bring into the discussion when you're complaining about the balance of
the balance, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I'm not sure what the correct word is there, but the way that different people perceive that is completely different.
I'm looking for this quote for you guys, and I can't pull it up right now because I'm not using dual monitor, which Colin always gets on me about.
Seriously, get another monitor. I'm thinking about going up to 3, and you're just gonna be left in the dust with 1.
You're gonna get 3?
I'll have a full battle station. I have 3. I just don't have the video card.
Yeah, Tense is in here. He wants me to get the 770 GTX, which just came out, or maybe the 780 just came out, or lower price or something like that.
Before you even do that, just get a second monitor. I'm serious. Like, if I could do 4, I'd have 4. I'd have 1 up ahead above me, and then I'd have a full setup like the villains in the movies.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much it on the update. I don't really have too much other feedback. I mean, a lot of this was going to be questions for Quinn. Matter of fact, I can tell you guys some of the questions we personally had for him. If I can pull this up. Actually, Colin, you'll have to pull it up. If I have it in the chat, it's our in the document for the show. It's right under where the E3 stuff ends.
What, the Quinn questions?
Yeah, there's our questions that we have. I don't want to read the community's questions because we might be able to read those at a separate time.
You want me to just read them?
Yeah, you could just read them. That's fine.
So, how do you feel about determining weapon balance / mastery from the top down versus bottom up?
So, does anyone know what that actually means?
That's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah. So, that was one I had to explain. But, so we had a discussion. I can't remember if it was on the show or if it was for Gears about designing for top down in your community, which are players that are on the high end, or do you design from the low end, which people consider casual, up? And so I was going to ask Quinn what he thought about that and how that directly applies to his thoughts on balance for Halo, which I think would be a really good answer from him, because he brought in a lot of mix of
This is silly.
people in there for their playtest. What, the next question?
No, the idea of asking questions to someone who isn't here.
What? I just wanted people to know what we were thinking about. You can just run through them. What's the next one? Oh, I have it. Can you explain or elaborate on why you're taking the approach that Quinn has had about advocating to recruit a lot of the other players in the community? That's one of our questions. I don't know if you guys have seen him on Twitter. He's been doing that. Is there a focused effort for esports since Bravo is there? Do you foresee Halo's exclusivity on just being on the Xbox as something that would hinder its growth for esports? That was another question. So those are the four I had right there, and then we're probably going to ask some more. So
yeah, on that last one, I think that I can kind of give my thoughts on it. Obviously, I've had extensive length in the past about how publishers of consoles, Microsoft and Sony, tend to throw money towards tournaments, at least with the Xbox and the PlayStation 3 they did. So I imagine that is kind of an advantage in that sense, that Microsoft sees it as their premier title for the console, and would kind of expend money in order to promote it to the forefront of esports,
right,
if that was the direction they wanted to go with it. So I can see that being a huge advantage there, as well as the fact that the studio's owned by Microsoft, so there's no one to really go through. It's just straight from Microsoft, to the players and community.
do you think that they would try to work with MLG for it again, or would they try to do something on their own, like Call of Duty Championship thing?
Yeah, I have no idea. I personally would love it if Microsoft were to hold their own thing each year with Microsoft game tournaments, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
A DreamHack type thing or a CPL type thing with just Microsoft titles. If they'll go that way, I have no idea. I really hope that Microsoft in general sees esports as a more important thing going forward. It's actually funny because preparing for the E3 discussions, I was going back through the 2005 E3 press conference where they announced the Xbox 360, and they did like their initial presentation where they were showing off Xbox Live and all that stuff, and it was actually Don Matrick on the stage presenting it, and he had said something along the lines of, yeah, we want to make it easy for players to connect with other hardcore gamers, participate in tournaments, and have spectators.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, so that was your goal in 2005. Looking at it 8 years later, almost nothing has happened. I remember at certain times they even talked about adding clan support to the Xbox dashboard and guide. That was like around 08, 09 that rumor was floating around. Around the same time they said they were going to increase the friends list from 100 users up to 250 or 300. So I mean, it's like they've talked about that stuff in the past, but haven't done anything. So at the same time, esports is kind of blowing up a bit more now with League of Legends, even Call of Duty and StarCraft and Dota. Like all those are blowing up. So there's more of a market there where you can kind of point to something and say these have been successful by doing it, and not have to be a forerunner on your own. So maybe this time around it'll happen, but in the past they've talked about it and nothing's really happened.
Yeah, so
Microsoft ties into Halo directly.
Here's the quote that I want to read. Weapon balance seems like such a simple thing. Although I acknowledge that I'm entirely ignorant towards the matter, I put down Halo 4.
That is the best. That is the best.
Exactly. That is really good. But like I said, I like that he put this out there, because this is, I think, the mindset that resonates with a lot of gamers in general when it comes to shooters. I put down Halo 4 after a few matches because I felt all of the weapons were too strong before the update. I can't stand shooters that don't allow you to spread your wings when maneuvering, strafing, jumping, running, etc. is so fun. I love a gun that fight that tends to be relatively lengthy. This is why I didn't like Halo 3, which is really surprising. If the BR was a 5-shot, I'd probably like it.
It was before. It already was. Fucking idiot.
Hey, that's not nice.
He did admit that he was ignorant entirely to it.
That's not nice. He is a fan of ours, Colin.
You can't be completely ignorant to it and then also sit there and criticize it. Like, those two things have to be together. I can't be like, you know, race car driving looks really easy. I am completely ignorant to it, but it seems like if cars went a little bit faster, it'd be more competitive. Like, it's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And I hope that whoever said that can realize why that's completely ignorant. The comment and the fact that you're ignorant of the thing in the first place, and you admitted that. So hopefully you'll be able to realize why that's completely ridiculous.
I appreciate that you let us know how you feel. Colin is an asshole. Alright, so
justified and correct that.
Alright, so someone said take away his beer now. Colin can hold his liquor.
I haven't even gone halfway through it.
Colin can hold his alcohol. Yes, he's very good. Alright, so that's enough on Halo 4. Thought that was some very interesting stuff. Let's go ahead and go community topic, and then community chat is what I typically do that. So you guys give us something in the chat. Questions. We talking about Halo 4?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, Hype 3.
Oh, Hype 3. I didn't even think about that.
We could have put that on here.
Yeah. Who wants to go first? You want to go first?
I don't know. I probably shouldn't go.
Okay. Alright, so first off, you guys can see the video. Barbosa canceled Hype 3, and his reasoning was basically that there weren't enough teams supporting Gears of War in general. I think I don't want to say it was Gears Judgment, because the event itself was supposed to be all Gears titles pretty much. So I felt like he didn't think there were enough teams there to support that. It was going to be in Raleigh. It was going to be next to Epic. Epic was throwing their weight on it. If you guys remember when we had Raxzilla on, he actually said that they were pretty pumped up about that event. And he actually had a second video where he did a longer description explaining why, from a business side it didn't make sense, and he felt like that the Gears community felt entitled. So, for the most part, I agree with pretty much everything he said, although I think maybe, one of the things that he said is that he couldn't downgrade from Hype 2. And I think at some point you have to concede if you want to hold an event like that. Like, I think that maybe they should have undershot and overperformed instead of trying to, put it all on the line and make this some mega huge event and then getting underwhelming response. So I think that's where I kind of disagree with what his approach towards this. I mean, I really want to see Hype succeed, but anyway, the part that I really kind of latched onto was the notion of entitlement. I don't know if you actually heard him talk about that, Colin, but he said that Gears players, specifically he targeted Gears players, felt entitled because of MLG and the production value and the money that they were throwing out at the time, which by all means, if you look at stuff now, it wasn't a whole lot. And so a lot of the players felt entitled because they were MLG pros and they were on the scene, and fuck this event, I'm not going to this. This is a waste of my time. You see that echoed a lot with the. I don't know if you guys actually follow any of the ex-pros on Twitter, but I'm not going to call any out, but there's a few of them on there that are just some absolute dickheads when it comes to just talking about the game and trying to promote the betterment of esports, improvement of esports. So
most of the community is completely ignorant what that even means, like outside of Gears.
Outside of Gears, like most of them don't even
doesn't follow other titles or
right.
games or anything on PC or anything like that.
Right.
So like, their perception of what other games do and how they get those prize amounts is usually completely distorted and inaccurate.
Right. So I think that is a fallacy not only in Gears but in every game. Like, you know, you get communities that only focus on, and I think it kind of overlaps a little bit on PC because you have like StarCraft guys going to Warcraft or Warcraft guys going to StarCraft, or then, okay, we're going to get out of that, let's go to League. I think that's a little bit different in that specific subsector, but or you have like Counter-Strike pros going to play whatever, Quake guys going to play Painkiller or Unreal Tournament. So I think there's more crossover there, so they have a better perception of the scene. The only other one where I can think where games kind of transcend is the fighting game community. So I think theirs is inherently more open to fighting games in itself, where they're not going to be like, I don't want to play, I mean, not that this doesn't go on, but I don't want to play fucking Marvel because Street Fighter is the shit. You know, I mean, there's a lot of overlap within that community. A lot of people that play multiple titles, and the pro players are pretty much trying to bring that whole community up, not put it down, not dilute it. And I really would like to see, at least for the console scene this next generation, for a lot of those players to support more shooters in general. Like, the Halo guys hate Call of Duty, the Call of Duty guys hate Halo, the Gears of War guys hate both of them. And it's like, okay, well, we're not going to grow at all. Like, if you could play shooters, if you could play console shooters, you should be able to hop on whatever game and then work to that on that specific scene if your game isn't playing. That's why I say that I'm more of an esports enthusiast as a whole rather than just Gears or just Halo or just Call of Duty or just StarCraft. And, you know, like Colin said, a lot of them just don't get it. They just don't get it. And they'll say that they get it, but they don't get it. So, you know, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I think that the more we grow, the more we need more responsible figures kind of stepping up to the plate on the pro scene. That's just my opinion.
In the end, it just boils down. There's not a big enough community for Gears to support the kind of event. Like,
they could do it.
I don't know.
They could do it, dude.
I mean, it depends on. They can't do it big.
They can't do it big. That's exactly my point. They can't do it big. They just have to concede to the fact that this game is not going to be the next Call of Duty. Like, it's just not going to be. Not only that.
Even just breaking even is difficult there, especially.
Right.
For example, Barbosa's currently on the West Coast, so it's
right.
not like it's even be like a local type thing for him. He'd be doing most of the event on his own shoulders with minimal help from people. So I get that, and like I said, I think that the payoff for all that work, not necessarily financially, but from a feeling accomplished kind of side of things, isn't quite there with the current Gears community size. Right,
which is what I think his big letdown was. You know, he's been pretty much pushing Gears from, I don't know, from the time he got involved with the scene. He's just been a big advocate for this, and to see the response to what he's doing is just so baffling to me. Like, you know, if there was an event like that, like, you know, we talked about the Epic Con, like, I would be all over that. I would be going to that. Like, there would be no question that I would be going to that because I love that scene. I love that atmosphere. I like Unreal Tournament. I like Gears. And so if they put it together, regardless of whether or not they said that, hey, we're going to do a Gears of War Judgment tournament, and I'm like, oh, I don't like that game. If I didn't even like the game, I'd show up because I want to support the community. And a lot of guys don't have that mindset. They're just like, fuck this game.
That's the thing. Like, really, the event would be to promote Epic. And from that standpoint, I almost feel like it should be Epic that holds something like that. It'd be
exactly.
Cool, and I'd be happy to go, and they can afford to take the small loss on doing something small to support the community versus having a community member kind of take the hit, you know?
Yeah.
That's my current stance on it. And it's one of those things where I've always been wanting Bungie to do this as well. Activision, Treyarch started doing it recently with the Call of Duty events every year.
Yeah.
Halo's never done anything like that. Gears never done anything like that. The best example on the PC end is QuakeCon every year, which has been going for like 10 years.
10 years, maybe longer than that.
Yeah, and it's kind of a showcase for Quake and id and for all the Bethesda titles. So that's really where I would like to see it go. I'd like to see Epic step up and do something for Gears and UT and Fortnite when that's out.
Yeah,
I think it'd be pretty cool.
So that was actually a really good topic, and I'm surprised we didn't have that written down. I didn't even think about it, to be honest. We haven't had Gears discussion on, and I guess we'll count it, but on our own in a while. So we've been doing other stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and switch it up to, what are we gonna call this? Are we gonna call this E3 stuff or game news? Because it's all pretty much.
Here's how I'll word it. Before E3 every year, there's a bunch of new stuff that tries to get out the week before E3.
E3 preview.
Just to get ahead of the flood of stuff that's going to come in through E3.
Preliminary, or preview. What do you want me to call it? Prelim or preview?
Pre-E3 news barrage.
Pre-E3 news barrage.
So there's a bunch of new stuff that's coming out the week before E3 to try and get the press coverage before everything comes out. Really, one of the biggest issues with E3 is that you have all this news come out, and there's just too much. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's too much for those people to even get the attention they need. So this week, and we'll do a quick run through of what's been announced so far. I imagine we'll see even more news throughout the week leading up to the announcements on Monday. So the big one, I guess we can just go right from Halo to Halo.
Yeah.
And talk about Halo Spartan Assault, which was announced today with a trailer.
We actually have the trailer. You want to do that now, or you want to do it later, at the end of the show?
You can play the trailer now.
Alright, so for those of you guys that haven't seen it, if you've played a game on mobile phones called Gun Brothers, it really reminds me of that, Gun Bros or something like that. It's a top-down shooter.
Mixed in with a little bit of Halo Wars.
Yeah. So let me switch the box. Oh, Colin, there you go. And boom. Let's see. Okay, I got it. And
We have no watch.
why is it choppy? It's choppy.
Oh, can't run it. Computer's not good enough.
No!
Can't run it through Premiere.
It's so choppy. The frame rate. There we go. I think it's because I didn't have it loaded in. Alright.
So, I, on principle, don't play anything with virtual thumbsticks. Which really messes with my desire to play this game. Even though it's Halo, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's going to be pretty watered down just because it's a Android game, or sorry, Windows phone.
Windows. That's the reason I'm not going to be able to play it.
Yeah, that's the
Who
other
has a
thing.
Windows 8 phone?
It's going to be on desktops too, I think, though.
Okay, and then I might play it then there. Maybe.
I'm not sure how they'll do that. Maybe through Games for Windows Live or whatever. Looks pretty cool though. It reminds me a lot of Halo Wars from the top-down perspective type thing. I really wish they'd do a Halo Wars 2. That game was fun.
I want it on PC only.
Someone says it's Windows 8 only. Well, then I'm not playing it.
It's only on Windows 8? That's what I have in the thing, yeah. I have it all right here, I think.
Okay.
Windows 8, tablet phones, PC.
How
So
would
it's
you
like-
limit it for Windows 8 only? Like, how would that?
I don't know.
It's gonna run like a game, right? Like it's not like it's gonna take advantage of Windows 8 features, right?
Well, touch.
Touch on PC? I mean, I guess if you made it mandatory, I would think they'd have some kind of mouse controls and release it on desktop.
Nope.
It wouldn't surprise me if
Watch they
there'd be a
won't.
pirated version on Pirate Bay or whatever for Windows.
They're gonna want you. You saw they showed a laptop. They didn't show a desktop, so they're gonna want you to use the touchpad on there.
Oh God.
Also,
both fingers on the touch.
yeah, you're gonna be like this. It says that also you can unlock content for Halo 4 or Halo Waypoint, which I saw that I believe on IGN's preview.
It does probably instantly become the killer app for Windows 8 phones.
It does. That's like what you're gonna get.
There's really nothing else, right?
Why else would you buy a Windows 8 phone?
It's really limited. So I guess if you have a Windows 8 phone, then it's a must-buy.
Yep.
Just so you have something fun to play.
I don't know the price on it. I don't think they said the price. It's supposed to come out in July. So that's pretty much all the news that I've seen on it.
Yep. Into that, Fable Anniversary was announced as an HD remake of Fable 1 on the 360. There were some nice comparison screens. Let me see if I can find that real quick. And also they're redoing some of the stuff like the save system. They're updating it so it's kind of more recent and makes more sense. And then they said they're changing some of the UI stuff around, I believe. And it's going to have Unreal Engine 3 lighting and all that good stuff. So it's not like a direct port. It's more similar to like what they did with Halo CE.
Okay. I just remember when Peter was talking about Fable and how he's not there anymore, but how it was going to just be this groundbreaking experience, and I did a lot of things that were really cool, but a lot of the stuff that he had hyped up just didn't come to fruition. So
another one he always gets shit about was the trees growing in real time. You'd be
real time?
A tree and then it would grow in real time.
Yeah.
You'd sit there and watch the tree grow. That never happened. I posted the comparison screenshot in chat. Looks a lot better actually, and it's kind of like one of those where you kind of look back and you're like, shit, games look really bad at the beginning of Xbox 360.
Yeah.
So looks pretty nice.
Have you? You
I
should.
was a pretty big fan of Fable. I enjoyed the first one a lot, and then I'm one of those people that thought that it got worse every time they were out. You know, like.
I thought Fable 2 was decent, but Fable 3 was just.
Yeah. That's kind of the consensus. Like, Fable 2 is kind of a toss-up. Some people say it was better, some people didn't like it as much. Fable 1 obviously was criticized for being too short and kind of linear in a sense. And then Fable 3, just everyone hated.
Just,
And then after that, they did the on-rails Fable game for Kinect, I believe.
Yeah.
So
that was just, I can't even describe how bad Fable 3 was to me.
I'm not going to pick it back up. I'm not going to pick up the HD remake, but it's pretty cool. Hopefully they do stuff where that's like a bonus, download and stuff. Like I think I've seen Fable 1 as a bonus type thing for the consoles and sometimes live, stuff like that. So that's my hope. And then I can pick it up for free and not have to pay for the same game again.
Right.
Head down the list, which I just closed. No, I didn't.
Wiki gaming tablet.
Wikipad gaming tablet.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about this.
All right, so we talked about the Shield from NVIDIA. That was a couple weeks ago, and so I remember when the Wikipad was being talked about initially, because they were going to do a 10.1 inch screen, and the price they had announced for that was $499, and it looked absolutely terrible, right? So with this one, they've shrunk it down to 7 inches, changed the price to $249, and it's going to come out during E3. So it's June 11th is the release date. It's Android based, 1280 by 800 basically resolution screen, 1 gig of RAM, 16 gigs of onboard storage with micro SD support, stereo speakers, and a 2 megapixel rather front facing camera. So
And a giant controller attachment.
yeah, do you have the website link
Yeah,
still pull
I posted
up?
a link to the IGM one.
All right, so Colin and I were
Here's the
cracking
funnier link.
up.
If you go to their website, check out the image. I suppose the link in chat. Check out the image at the top.
Look at the first image, guys. Look at that first image.
This is like this is what I picture when you play your introduction music at the beginning of the show, and it's like way over the top, and then it's just two dudes talking. Like this is what I picture: is everyone sitting there prepared to be in the middle of the fucking battlefield.
Oh God, this is gonna be so sick. What are you playing, dude? Sims.
Ridiculous shit. Their picture on the front page is pretty funny too. On just Wikipad.com. It's like a kid with his eyes really, 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 really wide in space,
And his veins are
like,
popping out.
Then there's a random robot with a lightsaber in the background, like.
And then I can't remember the name of that game, but how can you be hype about Hockey National Game, Hockey Nationals 101 or something? I don't remember what the hell the name of that game is.
Hockey Nations 2011.
Hockey Nations.
2011. I just realized that was from 2 years ago.
They don't even have the upgraded hockey stuff.
The other thing is hockey game. Actually playing with generic hockey teams from 2 years ago. So, like, it's a bit ridiculous.
Oh,
My biggest criticism is that they're calling it the Wikipad, but it has nothing whatsoever to do with the wiki.
Yeah.
It's not like open source. You can't contribute to it in any way. I guess you might be able to open up a Wikipedia in a browser on there, but there's no reason for it to be called Wiki anything. It's just they took the name Wiki because it has some brand recognition. They just threw it onto it and made it a Wikipad.
Yeah.
So it's questionable. I mean, I'm not gonna buy it. I don't think you're buying it either.
I'm not buying it. I'm gonna try to get a review copy so I can laugh about it. Garon's eyes.
I hope you haven't seen this.
He's not even looking at the pad. Yeah, that's the first thing I look.
Oh! Into the distance.
Oh!
So intense. Then they took the sharpen tool in Photoshop and just sharpened up everything. Both of them.
Oh man, that is a perfect face. Look in the chat. Oh God,
Yeah.
that's his face right there. Oh!
All right, going on. A bunch of games went into open beta this week, in varying levels of actual open beta-ness. Scrolls, which we talked about in the past, from Mojang. Their collectible card board game type thing went into open beta yesterday. $20 gets you in. It's kind of like Minecraft in the sense you're kind of paying for the game.
Yeah. Early access.
Spy Party. Have you read anything about Spy Party? We haven't talked about it on the show at all.
We saw that. Was it at RTX? No, we saw that PAX.
Okay.
I saw that PAX Prime.
So the premise is that one person's a sniper, and then the other player is a person in a party, and they need to kind of like walk throughout this party and complete tasks. Like they might walk over to the bookshelf and have to sabotage something, or poison someone's drink, or something like that. And then the person has to watch the AI and determine which one is AI and which one's a player. They get one shot.
I'm pretty sure there's only one dude that's designing this game.
Yeah, I believe so. I think they picked up an artist though.
Okay.
There was a bug.
Because I remember talking to him.
Any updates?
Yeah.
And they have like some new art models of what the characters are going to look like eventually, but it's still like very early for that.
So yeah, I actually talked to designer / programmer. He was a really cool dude. So I was happy to see that was getting some publicity.
Yeah, it's Chris Hecker.
Chris Hecker. Okay. Yeah.
I'll put this link in chat if anyone's interested. It's been being made for a long time, and it sounds like one of those games that's going to be done when it's done, in the sense that he's just going to keep building on it, and he does it in his free time, from what I understand, or maybe he's full time on it now. But it started off as like a side project, but pretty cool premise. Right now, I've heard from quite a few people that have been playing it in closed beta, and they say that it's only gotten better.
That's good.
And there's lots of nuance and that kind of stuff. So $15 gets you an open beta there. That one is very much still in development, so I would expect kind of a more typical beta experience there. And then Company of Heroes open beta went live today. You can.
I never liked that game.
I'm not sure how restricted it is. It ships in 2 weeks as well, so it's not beta per se. It's just in beta.
I never liked that game.
You never liked it?
No. I wasn't a Company of Heroes fan.
Really big on it. Like they've been playing it They play at lunch like every day for probably like 4 months. And it's just like I think it's one of those games that's real easy to get into and have some fun without being like a super crazy micro type thing.
All right, I got it. My cat.
Ships in 2 weeks.
Tux is going crazy. You got it. Yeah, hold on.
And then we have Zynga laid off 520 employees. This isn't really news. Whatever, I'll throw it in. Laid off 520 employees, shuttered the OMG Pop studio, which made Draw Something, which is kind of messed up because they acquired OMG Pop for $183 million in March 2012, and then a little over a year later, they're closing the studio. Essentially, it sounds like most of the people got laid off.
Did you see the some of the coverage from OMG Pop from the employees there about people talking about it? I know the community manager from, I believe, either Zynga or OMG Pop, I can't remember which one it was, he wasn't too happy about it. There were people that found out that they got laid off via Facebook, not even like from like an official email or someone coming up to them, but it was just like, oh, I don't have a job. So someone wants to see my, he's already out, he's gone.
So what's their cash at Monkey One?
His cat will win. His cat is huge.
And my cat's not declawed.
Yeah, we had to declaw. Unfortunately, we had to declaw Tux because of my daughter. So we didn't want him to scratch her to shreds.
Yeah, my cat's massive. He's a Maine Coon.
Yeah.
So yeah, shuttered down the studio almost a year and a half, or not even a year and a half later after buying them for a huge amount.
Huge amount. They were just throwing around that money, dude.
I actually worked at Zynga here in Austin as QA, and then that studio is all closed too. It was their QA building for the entire nation actually shut down.
Yeah, that was a huge building. It was huge.
They just built it. They moved into it like maybe 7 or 8 months ago.
Yeah, so just wasting their money, dude.
Zynga's just falling apart. Is what you get from there. So going back to the news, which I just should have ordered this better. Harmonix announced Fantasia Music Evolved, which is a Kinect title.
You're not gonna link that. You're not gonna link that.
I'm linking the video.
Oh God.
We should have played it live. We should have done a frame-by-frame breakdown of this video and all the great gameplay that they showed during the video.
They showed no gameplay, guys.
Like this.
There's absolutely no gameplay.
Making music with my hands.
There is no gameplay. So it's an LOL, the dislike bar. That was the first thing I looked at.
It has 200 likes and 1,500 dislikes. And the hilarious thing is that it manages to alienate both the Harmonix crowd, because it's not a rock band or Guitar Hero type game.
Right.
And also the Disney Fantasia crowd, because it's nothing like Fantasia in any way. It's just a music game. Loosely combined, because like in Fantasia, you had, like Mickey doing the shit with the wand and making music. Very loose connection there, but kind of shitting over both the Harmonix brand and the Fantasia brand at the same time. And there's no gameplay footage. It's just a bunch of people waving their arms around.
There is zero gameplay footage.
But it's okay, because they name drop Bruno Mars and Fun and Queen.
That was the worst.
People that they have music rights to from the other games.
That's one of the worst trailers I've ever seen. Speaking of trailers, there's a trailer that you guys need to watch for this Warships game, where they do like this super sexy voice. I can't remember the name of it.
Funny.
It's really funny.
From Paradox.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. I wanted to point out because of Microsoft's claim of how many exclusives was it? 15 or 25?
15 exclusive. 15 and 8 were the numbers.
Okay. So I believe that's one of the exclusives. It's a Kinect title.
Like exclusives?
So, one off the list.
Oh God.
I don't know. They only mentioned Kinect by name, so I just assume it's an exclusive.
Well, the picture that they have in the image shows the Xbox 360 Kinect.
Yeah, I don't think that. I believe when they say exclusive, they mean not on PlayStation.
Not on PlayStation?
I'd assume that would be the case.
So what's it? X.
And it's also one of the
That's one of the new IPs.
So you can check one and go towards my My prediction that there'd be a lot of fluff games in there that no one's gonna want to play.
Oh man. So
You want to go into the?
yeah. So someone already said in the chat that the image for this is debunked for NeoGAF's rumored leaked Microsoft E3 2013 games. However, the fact that this was leaked and then Spartan Assault kind of came out around the same time makes it a little believable. Like some of these games could be possibilities. I mean, we definitely know of some of them as of right now, but whether or not they're on Xbox 360, like Fortnite, is, or I'm sorry, whether they're on Xbox One as opposed to PC, like Fortnite, is, you know, we'll find out. But the list goes as such, and Colin and I looked at the image. The Halo 5, particularly the Halo 5 image on there, looks photoshopped.
Just doing Spartan Assault was announced, or the domain or whatever, the name was floating around a while ago.
Okay, that's what I thought.
They might have grabbed it from that. Also, as you said, the Halo 5 logo looks shitty. Possibly photoshopped.
It's possibly photoshopped.
But the Halo Spartan Assault logo also doesn't match the one which was in the trailer from yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, today. So that kind of adds to that. And then in the thread, there's actually a guy who found an old article referring to Banjo-Kazooie Gruntyland and a mocked-up logo, and it looks really similar. So it seems like they might have just adapted that. And that logo looks really shit.
Yeah. So, needless to say, like, it's hard to take these rumored games with any type of seriousness, but here's the list. We have Halo 5, which I think we can all say that we know that's going to be an Xbox One title. I don't think they're going to show it at E3, though. Killer Instinct, which would be Rare, I believe. Probably. I've heard that Rare is working on a title. I don't know if that would be it, but Killer Instinct would definitely be something that I would be interested in. Banjo-Kazooie 4. Again, Colin mentioned the shittiness of the logo. Forza 5, which was already confirmed.
Yep.
Quantum Break, which was already confirmed. Halo Spartan Assault, which was already confirmed. Rise.
That was already confirmed.
Already confirmed. Fable 4. I don't think we've heard anything official. We just heard Fable news today. You guys might be able to hear my daughter now. Then we have Crackdown 3. I don't think that was confirmed.
The agility orb was visible during the E3 or the Microsoft announcement.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's possible. Okay. So Fortnite is something that is confirmed for PC, not for consoles. And Epic will be there, if that's my understanding. So maybe we'll see some Fortnite. Colin actually...
It's plausible.
Yeah, it's a possibility, definitely. Colin, you actually pulled up their booth number. My daughter sounds entitled.
I didn't look at where it was on the floor, though. They have a booth.
Then we have Dead Rising 3. Call of Duty Ghosts, confirmed. Battlefield 4, confirmed. Witcher 3? I don't think that is.
I think they announced they were working on it, but haven't said anything else.
Okay. Dying Light?
That's the Dead Rising sequel, I believe. It's I think it's Dead Rising.
Well, they had Dead Rising 3 on there.
Or no, sorry, not Dead Rising. The Island. Dead Island.
Dead Island. Okay.
Yeah, it's from Techland. So it's supposed to be like a survival horror game, once again, with zombies and melee combat.
So here's the one that probably piques our interest a little bit here is Prey 2. Now, for anyone that has looked at Prey, that was a game that released 2006, 2005?
I think it was 7.
Well, wait. You guys weren't on the team yet.
Yeah,
it was 2005 or 2006. So it played kind of like Quake-ish, Unreal-ish.
Favorite 360 games, period.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good, quick, fast-paced shooter, quick twitch, and we saw some initial work was being done on it, screenshots and stuff, and then the project was reportedly canceled, I believe. And on top of that, I think they had confirmed at the time no multiplayer support.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like an open world, no multiplayer game.
Right.
With a bounty hunter theme and nothing to do with Native Americans, like the first Prey.
Right. So, I don't know. If you guys have watched Prey, I mean, it's probably something that you guys might be interested in, but the screenshots on Prey 2 are very interesting.
The latest news was that they actually took it from Human Head, who was making the game, and they shopped it around. They're trying to get different developers to make it, and most recently they're having Arcane Studios, actually here in Austin, work on Prey 2. But
Okay.
it sounds like it was very much in limbo, so that's a huge question mark as to why that game would show up at E3.
I see Darkstorm. Warframe confirmed for PS4. That's pretty big. Homefront 2 is another...
Didn't that franchise get sold with that whole pack?
I think so. With you talking about with THQ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It got sold to Crytek, I believe.
Yeah. So that's possible.
Yeah, it's already been announced. Crytek UK is working on it.
Okay. So that one is another one that's announced.
Yeah, they haven't announced any titles. There's no information about it.
Okay. Then after that, we have Mirror's Edge 2. That's another pretty big one. No information on that, I don't think.
No, it hasn't been announced at all.
Rainbow Six Patriots.
That's been announced and floating around for a while.
Yeah.
And there's gameplay footage.
Brother in Arms.
I haven't heard anything there.
League of Legends. Now that
I didn't see that on there.
League of Legends is on there as an Xbox 360 or Xbox One title.
Actually, take that back. That would surprise me in a major way because that game has some of the shittiest code. Like,
Who's Riot's publisher? Is it like Tencent?
Yeah, I think it's Tencent.
Because you need a major publisher, according to Microsoft, in order to, because they couldn't self-publish and free-to-play on them. We don't know how free-to-play was even going to work on.
I would be very shocked, just based on the fact that game is, like, they spent the last year and a half just cleaning up code pretty much, and their launcher is pretty outdated. It uses Flash. I don't know. That'd be really difficult, and there probably wouldn't be cross-platform play. It'd be completely different.
I don't know. And then the last bit.
I'd say on that whole list, that'd be the one which would most surprise me.
Yeah, the rest of these all seem plausible. Like they seem like they're within realm. Capcom.
These are all sequels. Like
yeah, there's not
everything
one.
except for
Fortnite. Everything except for Fortnite. Well, or a remake, I guess.
Or a remake.
A sequel or a remake.
Rise also.
Oh, Quantum Break.
And Quantum Break. They're all either city announced, which kind of puts into question the legitimacy of
the right. So Capcom has Dragon's Dogma, Darkstalkers Reborn, Marvel vs. Capcom 4, and my personal favorite from that list, Mega Man. Because I would love to see a Mega Man remake. So,
also interesting, under the notes for Marvel, it says allegedly taking advantage of Microsoft's esports platform tools they gave to developers. So that could potentially be something.
yeah, I would love to jump around with Mega.
But it should be stressed. These are all rumors.
Yes. Again, this isn't us saying this is what's going to happen. These are rumored titles.
That said, a lot of this stuff's very safe bets.
E3 2013 schedule was our last thing, and then the cliff notes.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about E3 this year. So the announcements all go down on Monday, which will be nice because our show is on Tuesdays. So we'll get to do a recap type thing like we did with the Microsoft announcement.
And Sony.
I guess we did Sony's too.
We did Sony, yeah.
So Microsoft goes first this time. The last time there was any announcements for consoles was 2005, and Sony actually went first, and Microsoft went last after Nintendo. So Microsoft goes first, and then there's EA conference, then Ubisoft, and then Sony is bringing up the rear there. And Nintendo's not doing any major press conference. They're going to do the pre-played videos like they did last year at various times during the show. E3 has 50,000 attendees, 200 plus exhibitors in Los Angeles from June 11th to the 15th. Most of the announcements will come probably on the first day or two, and then you get to see gameplay footage after that. In 2005, when their last console announcements went first, or when they did the last console announcements, Sony went first. I actually went back and I was flipping through both Sony and Microsoft's conferences. Sony was really tech focused, like in how everything works, and showing off engine demos and that kind of stuff. I think this year it's going to be way different in the sense that both are going to be heavily pushing the games factor.
Games, yeah.
Probably a bit of the platform stuff. I think you'll see a lot of the Gaikai streaming stuff from Sony, and then whatever features Microsoft has for the dashboard and Xbox Live. So 2005, Sony is showing lots of pre-render footage as well. There wasn't a lot of in-game gameplay type stuff. And they were highly criticized for that. They're also criticized for not delivering on lots of the claims and promises they made during the conference. Microsoft's kind of the same way. They had lots of stuff, like I was talking about the spectator and tournament support.
Right.
But Microsoft was a lot more game focused in 2005. And they showed off lots of the Xbox Live features, like the gamer cards and the blades, the old blade dashboard, and the matchmaking, kind of like how to play with friends and get to your friends and all that good stuff. I think this year it's going to be a lot more game focused in general across the board.
I would agree. I think that, I mean, Sony didn't show off a lot of the, I mean, they kind of did a mix. They did a little bit of tech, a little bit of games at their conference, and then Microsoft just showed, they didn't really even show tech. They showed features with television. So that was like their big push. So hopefully there won't be too much of that at the conference. Like I hope they go 100% towards games. My one worry with Microsoft is that they're going to be trying to push some of the Kinect stuff that I don't particularly care about, and they're going to try to intertwine that with TV. So it's like I don't like that stuff. I don't want to hear at E3. Like I know Kinect is games, but I really don't want to hear about Kinect at E3.
Yeah, they're going to have the Kinect and the sports-oriented stuff. Probably as a big chunk of their show.
Which is going to suck. And I'm anticipating it, but I'm just verbalizing that I don't want to see that. I honestly don't. So.
Do you think that Sony has a big advantage going last, or do you think Microsoft is in a better position in that regard?
I don't know. I feel like Microsoft's kind of at the advantage going first because they kind of opened with things that didn't really focus on games. So if they go with games and everyone is like, yes, 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 oh my god, that game, yes, then they have the potential to really make an impression because they didn't show off a lot. Whereas Sony already showed like, what, 4 games? Something like that. Right. So I think they have the potential to be in a better spot versus Sony, but I just don't know if they're going to capitalize on it.
Yeah, the biggest thing is that if Microsoft has a weak conference, then Sony has a very easy position where they can just take everything away.
Right.
But I think if Microsoft goes just showing a ton of games, then it's a really safe move on their part. In the sense that as long as there's a few games that catch people's interest, then they'll be fine. And Sony really has to do the same thing. But again, like if Microsoft fails, then it makes it really easy for Sony just to sweep up.
Right.
So.
And I don't think anyone is worried about Nintendo at this point.
No, I don't know what they're gonna be able to do.
I don't think there's one person that's worried about Nintendo's Wii U. Maybe they'll have some 3DS stuff they're gonna be showing off, but I don't see anything on there.
So I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that come Tuesday, we'll be talking about the games they showed off, and I think that Sony and Microsoft will both show lots of really cool games. Sorry. Oh, nope, no sneeze. I think they'll show off lots of really cool games, and then you'll just be like, I guess they both showed off cool stuff. I think that'll be all we'll really walk away from with it. Hoping that one of them has some cool features on their sleeves, because that's really what I feel like the games are going to be really similar. I hope that the platform and the software for the consoles has some cool stuff. Like the Gaikai streaming is already at the top of my list in terms of the cool stuff for PlayStation. Microsoft hasn't really shown me anything.
I'm hoping that Microsoft has something similar to that. Like we heard about the game DVR and editing stuff, but they didn't show it. They just talked about it. They just said it and they didn't show it.
Really refers to games anyway.
Right. So that's something that I think will be what they're going to need to show me to be like, oh yeah, that's something I'm really going to be interested in. Although I don't really see myself using editing tools on a controller. So I mean, it's definitely something I'm interested in. I'm more so interested in Gaikai. Is that how you say it? Gaikai?
I think it's Gaikai.
Gaikai, or I don't want to stream on Ustream, but if Microsoft has something with Twitch, that would be excellent. And Daryl's, are we going to E3? No, unfortunately, I cannot. As you guys can hear my daughter, that is primarily the reason that I can't go to E3 this year. But I'll be at PAX and a bunch of other stuff throughout the year, RTX, all that. But I just can't make E3. So that's pretty much the show. We'll finish it up with some questions. I saw some going in the chat while we were talking.
We talked about hype earlier, Fatal.
Question.
You guys don't have a booth or anything at E3, right?
No, it's so we have our vice president, president, CEO, creative director, and Ty, our brand manager or marketing manager, whatever you guys want to call him. He's also going there. So we have 5 people from Edge going to E3.
That's just like meetings and occasional interviews.
Meetings, yeah. So like, I think we talked about it on stream. So we're going to be just meeting with various people, like Machinima or XI3, I think is one of them. Stuff like that.
That's something a lot of people don't realize is that both E3 and GDC are very much like business meeting, like get shit done type weekends for game companies.
Yeah.
Lots of backroom meetings. Because everyone's in the same place anyways.
Warframe is going to be on E3 too. That's nice.
Someone chat said it was on PlayStation as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
Blacklight's supposed to be coming to consoles too.
Yeah, I heard that as well. Blacklight will also be there. It's pretty huge for free-to-play titles. Am I getting The Last of Us for PS3? No, I'm actually playing Uncharted 2 right now, and I don't really buy games for my PS3. I actually borrowed that from a friend, so I don't know. I saw the gameplay for it. It looks pretty cool, but I don't know if that's something I would sink money into. You guys ever play Spies vs. Mercs?
I love Spies
Colin.
vs. Mercs. I think it's one of the best modes. Really think, I guess pretty definitively it's one of the best shooter modes ever made. I think right up there with Bomb Game Type.
Bomb Game Type.
I see like Counter Strike's Bomb, like Quake Duel, and Spies vs. Mercs are kind of the big 3 of like different innovative type modes. Obviously Duel's pretty straightforward, but the armor and map control stuff makes it a lot more complex.
Yeah. Cookie Monster asked.
Definitely picking up Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell?
The big title that I'll play until the new console launch.
I'll probably play it. Cookie Monster asked. So as of right now, which console are you leaning more towards? I think we can both definitively say as of right now, PS4.
Yeah, currently.
Yeah. So I think PlayStation 4 for us is probably the one that's most appealing.
Yeah, the ball's in Microsoft's court there. So I think both of us can be swayed over to Microsoft pretty easily.
Yeah.
Just because that's what we played before, and that's where friends are, controller is, all that stuff.
So have either of you tried out Call of War as Gunslinger? Yes, I have tried it, done a review, and I have a full playthrough on my channel from start to finish. I enjoyed it.
Is that on Amazing MLG or on the Arctic?
It's on Amazing MLG, yeah.
Gears 4 only on Connect. I had to slam myself into the front of my desk to go into
Then you get stuck. You're like, oh no, I'm stuck in the corner.
Falls over my desk. I can't get off.
Let's see. How excited are you for the Destiny gameplay reveal? I am ecstatic about it. Just like I can't wait. Seriously.
I'm really pumped for Destiny, and I haven't like been excited about a game in a long time. Like where I'm actively kind of seeking out information for the game and looking forward to getting it like day one. And
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's something about Bungie that you just know it's going to be a good game.
you know it's gonna be polished and not like polished and well thought out.
Yeah. So it's like,
even if stuff isn't like perfect, it'll be good. I can almost be sure of that.
it's one of those things where I'm buying into the brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the studio. I'm buying into Bungie, not the brand. The Bungie. What do we think about the Wii U, Mr. Milky? I'm not a fan, to be honest. I don't like the direction that Nintendo has decided to take the Wii. I honestly feel like they have. I don't want to say they've lost consumer mind share with the consoles, but they're definitely underperforming there, and I could see them moving towards software, like licensing out Mario and stuff like that, because they would make a killing if they would make way more money, in my opinion, if they license out Mario to PlayStation and Microsoft and just did their like DS thing, handheld thing. If Xbox One requires an internet connection, do you think they'll make online play free or change up Xbox Live to make it more like Sony style? I don't think it'll be free.
I think that making Xbox Live free is like their desperation strat if everything was going to shit.
Yeah.
It all depends on if they feel like the opinion's too low, but I don't think they're at that point. And supposedly Xbox Live has pretty high operating costs in general, so I'd be pretty surprised.
That looks like it's about it.
Someone said they already confirmed it's not free.
Yeah, okay.
And so earlier, so Major Nelson said the only TVs you'll see are the monitors displaying the games. So, we'll see.
Well, yeah. What next-gen games are you guys looking forward to? Really, as of right now, only Destiny. I haven't seen enough to be interested in too much else.
Whatever comes out of Respawn will probably be interesting. I'm kind of excited for Fortnite.
Titan?
Just because what I saw earlier looked pretty cool.
Is that the code name they gave it? I think it's Titan.
Yeah, that's right.
For Respawn. Titan. We talked about that on an episode.
I honestly might play Blacklight on consoles once it's out. I actually enjoyed playing that game. It's just
it's okay. I just didn't like the
interface.
I didn't like
Really nasty.
they have to clean that up for it to be console. Oh yeah, you know what? Fortnite is another game I'm actually looking forward to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Seems good. Oh, and
Alright.
Battlefront.
Battlefront?
If they do another Battlefront, that sounds.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, you know what? I didn't mention Battlefield 4 either.
Yeah,
I'm gonna play the shit out of Battlefield 4. So.
But really, I think that I really need a new IP to kind of capture my interest at this point.
Which is why I think Destiny is probably popping out to us. Yeah.
The biggest thing I'm excited for with the new consoles is on Xbox we kind of hopped from game to game. And that was the most fun I had was when we were playing like a one-off tournament here, then hopping to another game, playing for 3 months, and doing a one-off tournament. Like that's always been real fun to me, and I hope that we kind of have the same thing where there's tournaments springing up left and right for various games as they release.
Be nice.
If that happens, I'll be pretty hyped. It's a lot of fun because you get something new and you kind of master the game and then move on. You know.
Yeah, we do that quickly, as that Monday Night Combat tournament showed. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is 18 weeks straight. We have been doing this. So, every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, you guys can catch us. We will be doing E3 coverage next week. Should be an excellent show. I'm very much so looking forward to it.
And an hour early.
Yeah, we could do that.
What time is the Sony thing? Because we might.
It's 6 to 8.
6 to 8 Eastern.
Shit, I don't know.
I'll say that we'll probably go live shortly after Sony's done.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
If it runs over our show, then we'll just delay a bit. Check it out next week. Should be fun.
All right. Later, everyone.